Hey guys, I finally got a proper camcorder, so my audio should now be crisp, clear, and most importantly, loud. So, that being said, let's resume the reviews, and what better way than by Terry Naylor, a new one. Here's Better Days, chapters 2 and 3.
In my shoes, my toes are busted. My kitchen says my bread is molded. I got a good job at the dollar store. 1 foot in the hole, 1 foot getting deeper with a...
We now follow our hero, and I use that term loosely, as he tries to go after more girls, namely ones closer to his own age. And now he's getting chased off by the parents, who by the way don't know how to spell out, just so he can make a sexist joke about women being stupid.
Alright, I'll go ahead and explain this here now. Naylor is a bit of a misogynist. For those that are not familiar with the term, that means he hates women. No joke. Oh, sorry. Let me be a little bit more specific. Women that don't know their place. Yeah, any feminist would hate Naylor.
Lucy attempts to help out Fisk by explaining a biblical story of David having to gather foreskins. By the way, check out the angle of Lucy's neck in the last panel. She must be part owl.
Oh great, it's only been 8 pages of the entire comic and we're already getting into Naylor's creepy obsession with foreskin. I wish I was joking about that.
Now we meet... Well, hello there. I didn't know Fisk and Lucy had an older Wait, that's the mother? She's dressed like a whore! This is a single mother. No father, no babysitter, and she's just going out to get banged and tells the kids to put themselves to bed?
Who let this woman have kids? No, better question, what does she even do to support her family? We never find out! We're never given an answer!
Fisk, meanwhile, takes the biblical story literally and actually gathers up the foreskins of pigs in a wagon. The look on Lucy's face. That right there is my response to all of Naylor's stupidity. Okay, so he explains they're really just ordinary skins and not foreskins, before he gets chased down and mauled by hungry dogs.
I really love the last line. Quick, get my BB gun! Yes, because shooting at hungry dogs is such a great idea, you moron. I should probably go ahead and mention Naylor has a bit of an obsession with guns as well, so get used to them.
This leads to calling up Sheila, who... of course is in the middle of having sex, only to be called to the hospital because her son is a retard, and maybe if she actually did some proper parenting, this wouldn't happen.
Alright, I'm sorry I had to keep pausing and making all these notes here, but this has to be pointed out. Naylor had originally said that he wanted to keep the sexual stuff out of the comic because he did not want it to be a selling point. Good job, you jackass!
Because porn is the only thing he knows how to draw properly, he's going to be slipping in his own brand of softcore all over the place. Get used to shit like this. Yeah, you never actually see anything, but to keep this and future reviews from being removed, I'm going to be doing this. Back to the story. Sheila rushes to the hospital to see her son. I'm sure, like any good parent, she must be really worried and concerned that... Oh wait, no, she's just pissed at her kid for ruining her night of fun.
Honestly, I want to slap the shit out of both these characters. Fisk for being a moron, and Sheila for being a terrible excuse of a mother. We've barely met this woman, and all we've seen her do so far is dress up like a whore, tell her kids to put themselves to bed, and go out to get fucked. And what's she do when she gets a phone call that her son's in the hospital? She yells at him for ruining her night. Normally, you would get a little bit of, I was so worried about you, or you could have been seriously hurt. No, it's just, way to ruin my night, you little brat. Let's just move on.
Chapter 3 starts off with Sheila leaving her kids alone again. Going out with friends, as she says, but with how she's dressed, I'm willing to bet it ends with her in a stranger's bedroom. And rather than check to make sure both kids are up, she just heads out. Well, if the neglectful bitch would pay attention to her kids, she'd realize Lucy is sick, thus leaving Fisk to play doctor and try to figure out what she's got and what to give her.
Well, it sucks to be you. Nice knowing you, kid, but you're in the hands of a retard now.
Fortunately, he has enough brains to call his mom and ask for help. I'd also like to point out an inconsistency here. The timeline is around when Jimmy Carter was president. They didn't have cell phones yet! At the very least, they weren't common. Well, Fisk, after managing to wrap himself up in an impossibly long phone cord, gives Lucy her medicine and waits till Sheila gets home. I guess she skipped out on the sex this time.
Also, if you want great proof that Fisk was originally Naylor's self-insert character, look at the tiny drawing on the bottom of the page where Fisk says he likes drawing his mom, which gives off all sorts of creepy vibes. Naylor eventually tries to deny this, and then on the same day he denies it, he changes all of his avatars all over the internet to something else because they all were originally a Fisk.
So now we get Sheila on the phone talking to the doctor and... oh, damn. There's no punchline now. Jay's actually going to make this into something serious.
No, just no. You don't go from a punchline a day to a sudden serious comic like this, especially not so suddenly. You don't just pull a complete 180 like that. I mean, I was only joking about Lucy dying. Why don't you show the mother getting raped while you're at it? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you, you sick fuck? God damn it, Naylor! Just move on.
Well, it turns out Lucy ends up in intensive care, and after Fisk and Sheila spend a panel crying on each other's arms as they both realize what an incompetent and utter screw-ups they both are, they go to visit Lucy. The receptionist is a hyena, thus is, of course, an idiot in the Naylorverse.
Alright, I'm going to pause the plot summary here and just talk about what the hell the species in this comic mean because they actually represent races. Yes, it's retarded, but, well, Naylor's a retard. What do you expect? First off, we have cats. They represent whites. Next, we have the hyenas, like the receptionist. They represent blacks. We also then have the mice. The mice are represented by Jews. That's right. The mice are Jews. Which is retarded, because who in their right mind would ever make a mice represent... Okay, bad example, so it's been done before. But it was done a little bit more tastefully in that case. In this case, it's just because they're represented as being weak and feeble. And the issue with the blacks being represented by hyenas, this normally wouldn't be an issue because hyenas do come from Africa and all that shit. Except Naylor specifically wanted blacks to be represented by a scavenger species. Naylor, you racist piece of shit. There's also rabbits that we see later on. I think they represent Irish Christians or something, but we're not quite sure on that one.
Getting back on track here, Sheila ends up lecturing the still moping Fisk that he needs to be the strong man of the family and disregard what those feminist bitches say in school. I wish I could say I was paraphrasing that, but no, that's what she actually says. It's not a huge deal right now, but this shit will keep piling up on itself till it's choking you. Fisk then spends the night with Lucy and, God, the text!
Jesus Christ, Naylor, no one wants to read an entire page of a prayer. Here's the short version. Dear God, please save Lucy. Was that so hard to do? No, I didn't think so. Also, keep in mind the fact that Fisk is actually praying into Christianity references right now. Just keep that in mind for further down the road. Actually, keep a lot of things early on in mind for down the road.
Anyways, Lucy gets better. She says she doesn't blame Fisk. A happy ending, now we can move on. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
So that's chapters 2 and 3. And how do they stack up? Honestly, I hate to say it, but they're not that bad. Yes, there's some bullshit in it. Yes, they're disturbing. But it's not as bad as it's going to get. That's the sad part. You see, this was tame compared to what we have coming. What's coming up? Oh, you'll find out in the next chapters. I'll see you guys there. Alright, I'm sorry. Fuck.